Hello, welcome to the Curious Crow Podcast Ep4. Chris has to think of a title at the end of the programme. Speaking of which, I'm Martin Willingham.
And I'm Chris Borden.
Hello, welcome along.
I completely forgot that was something that we do on this,
Oh, yes. What did I come up with next week? It's a prime day to have barbecue soup.
Indeed you did. And do you know what? That was a very, very good title. I'm actually kind of jealous. It's really good compared to the one I gave the week before.
It's not bad at all. Now, before we crack on with the podcast, this is something I haven't put on the running order because I am a dingleberry.
Okay.
If you listen to us on the Apple Podcast app, normally, or any other podcasting service, SoundCloud especially, with what's going on with SoundCloud at the minute, as there were a few stories a couple of days ago, SoundCloud is apparently 50 days. It's within 50 days it's going to run out of money. So we've decided, basically, because this podcast is new, we were going to get SoundCloud Premium.
We were, yeah.
To pay for the uploads and it just be uploaded. With it looking
More
like
space.
with it looking like it might go down the pan, we've decided this week. You will have heard we've recorded a little thing.
Yeah.
Actually, as we speak, we haven't done it yet.
Not yet,
but we were going to record a little thing that says, "Come over and listen to it on YouTube." And we are looking for another solution.
Indeed we are.
I am going to try and make sure that the podcast gets hosted on a new service.
Definitely.
So keep your ears peeled for that one. We'll update you as and when, if and when we know more. If SoundCloud survives, then we'll continue using.
Well,
them.
yeah, most definitely. I mean,
and I'd like to give them my money because I'd like them to survive. But there's no point because it's only £8 or whatever. But there's no point us ploughing £8 in to then lose the service. So.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, with SoundCloud being the service that we're currently using, obviously, we want, as you know, voice artists ourselves and kind of an everyday capacity as well.
Creators.
Creators.
Yeah.
I think, because this got brought up as a point because I was talking to my mum and dad about it, and they said, you know, fact of the matter is there aren't many services out there that provide the kind of stuff that SoundCloud do. Like, there obviously there are a few, but obviously paying the premium is kind of their end goal.
Yeah.
And, you know, for those people that are music artists or voice artists or whatever, a lot, if they don't have the money to put themselves on things like Spotify or, you know, getting their music and stuff up there, SoundCloud's kind of the next best thing. It's
a missing link, and it's such a shame that there's people losing their jobs over this.
Exactly.
And, it's such a shame. SoundCloud's been around ever since I can remember.
Yeah.
In terms of like audio podcasts and stuff like that, it's been around as long as I can realistically, recall.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the situation with SoundCloud. As I said,
it is.
We're looking for another solution. We're looking hopefully for SoundCloud to survive.
Very much so.
I'm tempted to give them £8 this month and see what happens.
Well, obviously this is the thing as well. Obviously, even if we unfortunately do lose SoundCloud, then obviously we're still going to be on YouTube.
On YouTube, yeah. So we'll always be here on YouTube.
That we will.
And this is episode 4, so week 4. We've been doing it a month. Hooray! So Chris, on this running order here, highlighted in red, and that's your colour.
That is my colour.
You want to talk about GTA Online for the Xbox 360?
And how much it needs an update. This is something...
How about how much it won't get one?
I know. That's the other element to it. If you're a poor gamer like me and can't afford a next-gen console or a very good gaming PC, some of you may have noticed, whether it's on Xbox 360 or actually PS3 as well, that it hasn't been updated for I actually think it's coming up for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Since the last update, which I think was the hipsters update.
Right.
I'm not sure.
I will say this though, it's good that it's still working.
Oh, very much so. The servers are still so teeming with people. I can attest to this because that's what I've been playing this week.
And I guess that's kind of your point, isn't it? Because we did talk about this earlier. There's lots of people still playing.
Exactly, because a bit like me, obviously not everyone can afford a next-gen console or a top-of-the-line PC.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't even have to be a top-of-the-line PC. It has just to be...
is the expensive bit.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
Exactly. But it doesn't even have to be top-of-the-line. It just has to be capable of playing the game. And a lot of people can't afford them. Especially if you're, students, or they've not reached the point of student status yet, and they haven't managed to get themselves a full-time job, etc.
Yeah.
These things are expensive, and it'd be lovely to have that extra cash to go, right, okay, do you know what I'm going to do this month? I'm going to get myself PlayStation 4 and GTA, and I'll pay for all the updates and everything as well. It'd be lovely to do that, but unfortunately, it's not always an option. So the point I'm trying to make with this, I suppose, is the fact that while obviously GTA 5 online works, still works wonderfully on the Xbox 360, it needs, and it's not, oh, I'd like it. It needs some updates added to it, simply because it's so far behind the next gen consoles now that while obviously it's still teeming with life, it's a case of it will end up dying very quickly. I personally think, because there's only so many times you can do the same amount of missions before you start getting bored and then start blowing everyone up, and then you get penalised for that, which is what GTA is all about.
There's definitely, I can understand it from Rockstar's perspective, because I'm sure on the grand scheme of things, there's probably a lot more players on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and PC.
Oh, most definitely. 100%, yes.
And you know, you're right. I'm one of those privileged, lucky people who has disposable income, and I can afford to have a PS4, an Xbox One, or a Switch. So I have the current lineup. Although it must be said, you know, I'm not mental. I have the original Xbox One. I don't have the Xbox One S or the Xbox One X, which is coming out. I don't have a PS4 Pro, unless mine croaks it. If mine croaks it, then yeah.
Well, if yours croaks it, mate, and then it goes, oh, all it needs is this one part, I will buy your PlayStation 4 from you.
I'm a collector.
I know you're a collector, but does my face currently look like I care?
No.
Precisely.
No, it doesn't. But yeah, I totally get your point. And you know what? I'm impressed, actually, at how long, particularly the Xbox 360, has been still supported by Microsoft, and I think that's good. There is another response, though, which is the back catalogue on Xbox 360. If you're a 360 owner and you don't mind a little bit of a downgrade on the graphics, there are some great games still.
Oh,
great games to play. In fact, Left 4 Dead, for me, Left 4 Dead, the Xbox 360 is the platform of choice, and it honestly doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work very well on backwards compatibility.
No,
actually, it is backwards compatible on the Xbox.
Surprising,
but it doesn't work very well.
Do you know actually one game as well that fans of Rockstar and stuff will be quite happy still runs beautifully and still looks pretty as well?
Yeah,
Red Dead Redemption.
Well, of course, the sequel's coming out.
Number 2's coming out soon, which is very exciting if you own a next-gen console.
Is this wrong? I'm excited for Red Dead 2.
Yes.
But I've never played Red Dead 1.
That's fine, but
should I play Red Dead 1?
Yes, you definitely should. I think I would personally turn to you and go, Martin, play it. I would actually have to sit you down. Yeah, I think we should.
Maybe stream it or record it or something.
Yeah, definitely. I think it would be quite, because there's some funny bits in it, and I think there's definitely loads of stuff that, you know, we kind of take the piss out of a little bit.
Content.
Exactly. Just slam it all in there.
So yeah, Xbox 360. I actually have 4 of them.
For Xbox 360.
I love the 360, man. I had a Jesus titty Christ. I had an Xbox 360 late on into its life. I've had a PS3 since 2007.
Yeah, something like that,
for a very long time. So I never felt the need for an Xbox 360. Then I noticed, I'm not able to play games with my pals like Turkey and Chris. Maybe I'll get one. And Turkey just happened to be
maybe I'll invest in it.
Yes, Turkey happened to be selling his 360 with the broken disk drive. So
indeed, yes, he was.
So what I did was I bought it. I know we're going off tangent here. I bought it off him for like 20 quid with the controller. And I went on eBay, and there was this guy. You sent your DVD drive off, and it came back, and you put it back in, and it worked. And I did that. And I had a 3-month warranty. How long do you think it worked for? This isn't a joke. How long do you think it worked for?
Oh, I'm going to say a month?
3 months and 2 days.
3 months. Oh, blimey.
So then, at this point, I just started uni. You know, you get that student tax-free thing.
Yes.
And I was working for my pops on not bad money. I had no outgoings. Your parents were not charging me rent.
Yeah,
I was literally paying for fuel. That was all I was paying for. So I just went out to game, and I was like, right, going to buy a brand new Xbox 360. So I just went and bought a brand new one. And I felt a bit like a baller, to be honest. I was balling. I was like, oh, yes.
Money everywhere. Ladies, look at my money.
Back then I was, because I wasn't paying rent.
Yeah,
And I didn't, I wasn't paying for my car. I was paying for fuel and like road tax and insurance.
Yeah.
That was my only outgoing. At this point, my phone contract You know when you're like 15
Yeah.
and you say to your dad, "Oh, can I get a phone contract?" And they go, "Well, instead of having pocket money, we'll give you a phone contract." That's what I did. When it came for renewal time, I just kept quiet.
No.
So I wasn't paying for my phone, I wasn't paying for any broadband, I wasn't paying for anything. I saved up for stuff. I had my MacBook, so I was quite happy there. I didn't need any computer stuff going on. I wasn't really into that then. So I just went and bought one. I felt like I bought, and then I went and did a Call of Duty tournament at the Cineworld in High Wycombe.
Did you actually?
Yeah, and I did all right.
That's
I actually
hilarious.
got to play on the cinema screen, which was very, very cool.
Do you know what? Actually,
Black Ops 3.
Actually, do you know what?
No, Black Ops 2, sorry.
I was going to say Black Ops 3 ain't. Oh, well, no, it is on it, but it's the multiplayer, and that's it.
Is it
which
any
is a
good on
shame.
there?
I don't know. I've never played it. I've never played it
You
on the
don't
Xbox
even have
360.
your copy of Black Ops 2 anymore, do you?
I don't know because that mysteriously went missing at uni.
Is it that much of a mystery? Do you know who took it?
I don't know if anyone took it, or I don't know if I just lost it, to be honest, mate.
If
But
you have a copy of Black Ops 2 and you're going to either throw it or send it to CEX, give it to Chris.
yeah, give it to me. I'll have a back.
I've got a
order
copy on the 360. Maybe we should do an online sesh.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should do.
I'll pull out a 360.
Yeah,
I've
too
got
right.
Choice.
Well, do you know what? But speaking of obviously consoles and games that we're all looking forward to and that we're all taking part in and stuff.
Nice segue, just ruined by my comment.
Not really. It's still.
It's a nice segue.
Do you like it? Thank you.
I liked it. Yeah.
Obviously, you were working yesterday.
Working Saturday.
Saturday. That's it.
We're recording this on a Monday, just so you know.
Indeed, we are. So you went. Obviously, you had work on Saturday, and what was it you missed? Because you've said this a couple of times to me today, where you've gone, "I'm really sad about this."
Your response was funny, which is, "Oh, wow, wow, who cares?" I missed out on the Splatfest completely.
Yeah.
It started after I started work and finished before I got home.
For those people who don't know what it is, what is Splatfest?
So Splatoon 2 is out on Friday the 21st. So it'll be out if you listen to this tomorrow. Yay! Love a love Splatoon. We both love Splatoon on the Wii U. I still play it from time to time. It's really good fun. I love this game to bits, and it's gonna be on the Switch. And I need to get Wi-Fi at my work because in my breaks I'm gonna play that bad boy. I might get one of those MiFi things. I'm genuinely tempted, just so I can play a bit of Splatoon. I so badly want it. Well, but it means I have to get Vodafone.
I was going to say,
signal.
Just stick it on the list, mate, as a maybe.
That's on the list. But either way, so yeah, they did a Splatfest where you downloaded the Splatfest thing, and it was basically like Splatoon 2. It was like a preview, and I got to play the tutorial and got to register my team. I was on Team Ice Cream, despite not playing a single match. So you had a choice. I don't know if you know how Splatfest work, but you have like team. Like this time, it was Team Cake versus Team Ice Cream. I was on Team Ice Cream because ice cream is better than cake. Obs.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that, mate.
You'd have been on Team Cake.
I would definitely have been on Team Cake. I mean, look at me.
Why not both?
Why not both?
So yeah, I was on Team Ice Cream and never got to play it, but I did play a little bit of the tutorial, and I got to walk around in the main plaza thing. And
well, for Splatoon 2, haven't they got a proper campaign mode this time?
Yes, there was a campaign last time.
There was, yeah,
but apparently this one's a bit more
in depth.
Cool. Poor old Nintendo. They can't just make an online shooter. They just can't do it. They're like, I need to make a campaign.
But do you know how glad I am that they don't?
Really?
Because I personally, I mean, I might be one in a few thousand, a few million, whatever.
Yeah.
But I really like a game that isn't just all online multiplayer. I like to have a campaign.
But you like Overwatch?
I do like Overwatch, and strangely enough, that's one of the only completely online games that I love.
Right.
Whereas things don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, the first Titanfall. However, there was no proper campaign for it.
Yeah, and they put one in.
And they put one in the second one, and it was great. It was a great campaign. But the first one was let down because it didn't have one. But that's just me. I again, it's like I said in the previous podcast, game-wise, I'm very story-driven. I like to have a story thrown in my face and gone, enjoy this. And I do. Maybe it's because I'm a consumer sheep when it comes to campaign stories.
You're a sheeple.
A sheeple.
So yeah, I'm sad I missed it, but it's out on Friday. So when you listen to this, if you listen to this day after it's released, it'll be out. I've got it pre-purchased. It is coming.
For which console?
It's on Switch.
Of course.
It's not on anything else, so...
I know, but I was just saying for our viewers who might not know, mate.
It's gonna
viewers, listeners.
It's going to be £50.
Oh,
It's a lot of money spent on a game.
Still.
But I can't. Right, you'll be proud of me actually.
Yeah.
I had a pre-order for the new Nintendo 2DS.
Oh.
I've cancelled it.
Oh, good man. Proud of you.
I've cancelled it for 2 reasons. One, it's money I don't have. And two, I don't need it. But I know saying that I'll regret it because I'm gonna buy it at some point.
You probably will buy it at some point, mate. But this is the thing. I think, in my eyes, pre-orders are insanely overrated.
And also, pre-ordering a game, it's almost like you're giving them a license to screw you. But I tell you what I did do. Gran Turismo Sport has finally been given a release date in October.
Oh.
I'll try and find out the exact release date, actually, at some point.
Okay.
But it's coming out in October. And I had an order for the standard edition.
Oh, yeah?
You know how much I love Gran Turismo.
I know how much you love driving games and just cars in general, mate.
I've gone for the collector's edition.
Oh.
£104 out of my
You
pocket.
are absolute filth, aren't you?
Anyone who's just listened to that bit is just like, is this the right podcast?
It's where someone's cut just to that bit and they've gone, oh, God. It's like listening to Rick Mayo and Aid Edmondson.
Hello, bird.
Hello, bird.
And in today's news,
Don't start.
an interesting misprint.
That reads penis.
Love it so much. Yeah, but what the hell were we talking about?
We were talking about
Gran
Spaltfests,
Turismo,
mate.
Gran Turismo. So
that's
I've bought the collector's edition. I don't even know what's in it.
Oh, mate, you're in for a treat.
I've got the collector's edition of the Gran Turismo 5 package, and it's got a beautiful model in it. It's got like a book and a DVD.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's really cool. And it's even got a USB stick. It's in the shape of a car key fob and a Gran Turismo wallet.
That you're going to be using that.
All of it
do you know
is
what?
in its box. I don't want to use this stuff. It's so pretty. You don't want to use it. That's such a pain. First world problem.
It's collector's edition, mate.
I'd love another one of them wallets, though. I might go on eBay and see if someone's selling just the wallet.
Well, they might do, to be fair, man. These things do sometimes happen.
My wallet is pretty dank. AF.
You keep saying the word dank on this podcast, mate, and all I can imagine is the air horns in my head going.
Might add them in post if I can be bothered. Spoiler, I can't. But yeah, you know how much I love Splatoon.
Yes.
I went to Japan and actually got one of the little Splatoon marker things. A little inflatable one.
Oh.
Yeah, it props up my game shelf, which my game shelf fluctuates. I actually have a database of all my games.
Do you actually?
I do, yeah.
Oh, blimey.
It's out of date. I need to update it, but I might put it out there one day because Chris and I are going to do a series on my cupboard.
Yes, we are.
We are going to do a series on that.
We're also going to do a series. Well, and adding on to the YouTube channel stuff, we're going to be doing. There's probably going to be some videos where I'm begging you all for money in a comedic fashion.
Yes,
because I don't actually mean it.
Well, it depends unless you want to give us money, in which case. Crack on! We're not going to stop you from doing that.
Then to watch the next week's video, you just got to give us 50p.
Maybe
because that's the production value.
Maybe we could start a Patreon.
Patreon, yeah.
But look at the amount of views this podcast has. I don't think it's time yet.
No, definitely not. But do you know what? Speaking of things that are made really well.
Oh, for God's sake, another segue.
Did you like it though?
I saw it coming.
Did you see it coming?
A million miles off.
Good, that's cool.
You tried to tangle me like Mum's spaghetti.
Mum's spaghetti. Speaking of spaghetti.
Setting you up again.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Obviously, last week we talked about. I told the good listeners how to make soup. Soup, tasty soup, spicy carrot, coriander, chili chowder. Anyway,
yeah.
I told people my own personal recipe for soup on how to make it because it's quite easy and it's quite cheap.
Yeah.
This week, I am going to talk about how to make good old-fashioned spaghetti bolognese.
Nice.
Obviously, I'm not going to tell you, right, you've got to go out and get a pasta maker from Lidl for like £5.
We've said this before. Lidl and Aldi, those central aisle deals. Sometimes they're pretty good.
Do you know what?
Sometimes they're strange. You got a pair of helping hands from them.
I saw an advert the other day, and it said, "Oh, the middle aisle in Lidl changes every 3 days," and I was like, "Every 3 days? How much crap must they have backlogged?
Some of it's pretty good though.
Yeah, some of it's really good.
I love a
And it's just-
bargain, mate.
no, yeah, you do, mate.
Speaking of which, you see my dash buttons. They've been
I
installed.
have, yes.
I might have to order some aerial soon. I might press it in a
If
bit.
you don't know what a dash button is, then check out last week's podcast.
That's right. Good back tees. Nice.
I'm getting all right at this, Lark, aren't I?
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, spag bowl. I'm taking it you know how to make it quite easily.
Yeah, I know how to make spag bowl from scratch.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because obviously a lot of people just go, grab the mince, grab some onions, grab a jar of sauce. I always find
It's
that
the lazy way.
Yeah, it's not so much lazy. Sometimes it's just convenient.
Yeah, I've done it. We've all.
Oh
done
yeah,
it.
we've all cheated. But this is the thing. Like, to make the spag bowl sauce is so easy. All you need, half an onion, red or white, either way.
I prefer red, more aesthetically pleasing.
Fair enough.
Although if you leave it as leftovers, sorry to
That's all right.
distract from you. If you leave like red onion, say you have it in something and you leave it as leftover, it goes grey.
Oh,
It's still fine,
Yeah.
but it just looks less pleasing somehow.
That-
So
yeah,
think
I
about
get
that
it.
if you plan on making lots.
but basically, you just finely chop an onion, crush some garlic, throw that in a pan, and start cooking it through until it's slightly soft, but it's not burning, because that burnt onion never tastes nice in
Right.
anything, except if it's on top of a hot dog.
In this case, you want it to be crispy.
Exactly. And then after that, you put the mince in and start browning it off, and just keep an eye on it, keep turning it, make sure that every little bit is pretty much brown, and then you add a tin of chopped tomatoes,
Yeah.
tomato paste
Nice.
or puree,
Nice.
tomato sauce,
Nice.
balsamic vinegar.
Nice.
If you could, because you can get a pound. There's a pound bottle in Lidl when I was at uni.
That's a bit of little.
Well, love me some Lidl.
Every little helps.
Every other shops are available, however.
Like Tesco, Sainsbury's,
yeah, exactly.
Waitrose, M&S.
Mate, check the reduced sections. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you add them in.
We were talking about doing a series on that.
Yeah,
Weren't we?
we were.
Anyway, sorry, carry on. I'm terribly distracting you
Yeah,
from
it's
your
all right,
original
mate.
points.
It's all right. So yeah, you've got tomato paste, tomato sauce, chopped tomatoes. Keep turning it. Bit of balsamic vinegar adds just a nice little kick.
Yeah.
You stick in a stock cube.
Beef
Beef, of course. Or pork. It depends on what mince you're using.
or lamb, I guess. You could do it with lamb, I
Exactly.
suppose.
You can do it with pretty much any mince, but it's up to you what you'd rather choose. Personally, I'd go for beef.
Right.
Stick a stock cube in. A few herbs. Some mixed herbs. Obviously, you can get... that's like a pound in Sainsbury's. You get salt, pepper, to your liking, obviously. So, because I put quite a lot in, because I like my food to have a lot of flavour. And you keep stirring it. But one little ingredient that a lot of people will probably go, ooh, that sounds minging, that I always put into my spaghetti bolognese because it helps draw out the flavour. Marmite. Just the tiniest bit of Marmite. It doesn't have to be
Right.
huge. If you've got a squeezy one, just a little twirl around the pan. Perfect.
Do you know what I put in it sometimes?
What?
A splash,
A splash.
literally a splash of cola.
That sounds bizarre.
If you put a bit too much salt in it,
Okay.
it can fix it.
Oh,
Just a
okay.
splash of cola. Literally just the
Interesting.
tiniest amount, and it can sort of fix it.
Interesting. I might have to give that a try next time I make it too salty.
Yeah, give it a go.
But yeah, so, and then all I tend to do is I leave it in the pan on a really, really low heat, and just every now and then come back to it, give it a stir, and just cook it through. Let it simmer. Let some of the juices and some of the sauce, disappear a bit. Let the meat cook out, because obviously then it absorbs all the flavour. If you do it like a day before, you come back to it the next day and you go, oh god, that's amazing. That's brilliant. It's lovely, and it's really rich. And it works for vegetarian substitute as well.
Yeah.
I found that out because I made it for my at one point made it for my girlfriend tomorrow,
Yeah.
and I'd like to think it kind of went well. You'd have to ask her at some point.
Do you know what is
you know.
really good if you're vegetarian
What's
and you
that?
want to have like bolognese or something? Hannah had some earlier.
Oh,
what's
yes,
it
she did.
called? Blimey. Courgette.
Courgette? Do you mean courgette?
No, courgette. It's spaghetti made out of courgette.
Okay.
Sounds strange, works really well. So yeah, something else, Chris. I don't want to taint it or anything,
Okay.
Adobe Audition hasn't crashed yet.
Oh, lovely.
May have solved the problem.
The gods of creation are smiling upon us today.
Next week, I will tell you how to make steak and Guinness pie.
Exactly. And do you know what? 'Cause, we're going to kind of take it in turns from now, aren't we?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I don't get the chance to cook that much, to be honest with you. So yeah.
No, exactly. But yeah, that's my really simple, easy, cheap method of making spag bol.
I'm trying to sort out this headphone thing because our headphones are popping in and out. You guys won't notice, obviously. It's seamless. What's happening is because Chris is sat on the sofa, so his cable is pulling the adapter out of the audio interface.
Well, maybe turn the audio interface slightly more towards me, and it might stop pulling it.
Such a pain in the bottom.
There we go. I am
happy.
Next to godliness.
So I've actually had to move some stuff out of the way to put this audio interface here.
What did you have?
I've been building a server. Okay,
Yeah.
now I bought a server off eBay and it was just the wrong sort of thing for the job. I have one that's in pieces actually on that table there. And Chris, are you suitably impressed?
I am. Yes, I'm kind of more impressed by the amount of like hard drives that you've got stacked up ready for it.
There's 5 stacked up.
And how many are you able to plug into it?
4.
So, for those people listening who might not necessarily know what a independent server does.
Well, this is more like a home media server.
Well, yeah, exactly. I'd call it an independent one.
Yeah,
personally, because I'm just using words.
It's going to be running a piece of software called Plex. Which will sort of work like Netflix, but in your house. So there'll be a hard drive with loads of films on it, and I'll have that on there. It'll also be used as network storage. So instead of having a load of hard drives plugged in, I can just over the network transfer files for archive on and off of it.
So what are you going to call your knockoff brand of Netflix then?
It uses
Smartflix.
It uses the Plex app. So I guess I'm going to call it Plex.
You disappoint me.
The server itself is geniusly named on the network server.
Amazing.
Because I thought about calling it like black or green or blue or something, because I've got the red and I've got the white PCs, and I thought about calling it because it's all related to the colour of the network cables. I'm sorry, anal. But yeah, it's underway. More updates to come.
See, I would have just called it Gary.
Gary the server.
Gary the server.
It's an Intel Core 2 Duo of some description, with 4 gig of RAM. I was originally going to build it for Chris, but it didn't actually work out that way, so I ended up building him something brand new instead.
Yeah, indeed. You did.
But what's amazing is I built that with bits I had lying around. That's terrible.
For those of you who don't understand any of the jargon, in layman's terms, it's going to be a big box so you can save all the stuff to. That's how I understand anyway.
Basically.
That, in the most basic sense, layman's terms.
So Chris.
Yes, mate.
Speaking of big boxes you can put stuff in, you went on a train.
I did go on a train.
Seamless.
That segue.
Segue.
I feel like we need segues to record this on now.
Segways.
That'd be quite a cool idea for the podcast. Go segwaying one day.
I've done it. I did off-road segway.
So did I. We did it for my mum's birthday.
Bloody good fun, isn't it?
It's so fun.
They say it's impossible to fall off of them.
You fell off.
My dad and my sister fell off.
That is incredible. That is phenomenal.
Because Dad tried to stop himself, leant forwards, just went straight over the front. Hilarious. I was pissing myself with laughter.
Oh, mate, that's amazing. But yeah, no, I did go up to London this weekend to visit my lady.
T-Dog.
As it was her birthday.
Are you sure she doesn't mind me calling her T-Dog?
You can ask her yourself when you meet her, mate.
If you do mind tomorrow, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, leave us a comment on YouTube.
No, just punch me in the face on Saturday or whatever it is.
Yeah, probably next Friday.
Whatever day it is, just punch me in the face when you meet me.
Yeah, exactly. Just do it. It'll make me laugh.
Do it.
Do it. But yeah, no. So I went to London, and anyone who knows me knows I hate travelling long distance by train. I hate it. From where we are, London isn't too far. It's not
45 minutes.
Hour.
Yeah.
45 minutes to an hour at least. Not long. And anyone who knows me knows I hate it, and they also know I also hate the underground. And because of obviously where Tamara lives, I had to get on the underground and everything. But you know what? It was worth it because it was a really, really nice day. Anyway, It was like the weather wasn't great, but it was a nice day all round for myself, for her. I hope she enjoyed herself as well.
So happy birthday, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Cheers, mate. And yeah, it was great because obviously she had some friends from university who kind of up Liverpool way coming down, and they came in and we were, had a laugh. One lad from Peterborough, obviously me, and then I had a load of other friends, which were lovely girls, lovely people, and. Yeah, do you know what? It was nice because obviously I was quite nervous about going up to London. I won't lie, because I'm not very good in big crowds of people. I get very agitated very, very quickly. And, I was there and it was just nice. I felt relaxed for the first time in London in God knows how long.
Yeah.
It was lovely. It was really, really nice just to be so chill. And to be
100% chill,
and to as well. Do you know what I think helps with London? It's being with, if you're with people or with a person, for instance, that puts your mind at ease regardless. London is so much more enjoyable. Yeah, and that's what I found. So I had a fantastic weekend personally. I had to travel back for an audition on Sunday. Strange day to have an audition, if you ask me. Especially very early in the morning. Yeah. But I'm not going to go into too much more detail about that.
No. Not until you hear news about it.
Exactly. So I
haven't even asked you about it yet off air.
Exactly.
We must have a check because we're having dinner after this.
Indeed we are.
Terribly romantic. I've got the LED candles ready.
Exactly. I'm waiting. I've got a barrel full of lube. Ready.
Okay, that's an in joke. So whenever anyone's arranging like a party or something, I always message, I'll bring the lube.
Yeah, you do every time. But do you know what? Because it's a romantic dinner and he's cooking, I'm bringing the lube this time.
Strawberry.
But yeah, so actually, do you know what? One thing I will say.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know a lot of people complain about the underground and the services. The train's taking forever or being late and what have you. Yeah. But there's one. Every couple of minutes. So the staff who work in the train station at Waterloo, Euston, anywhere in the country. And people who work on the underground anywhere in the country kind of thing. Yeah. They will do such a superb job because they do get you there on time. They do the best to the best of their abilities because some stuff is just out of their control.
And here's the thing as well. These poor people who are having to deal with abuse from members of the public. Now, you've got to remember, it's no individual's... It's like we're lecturing. It's no individual's fault. Like, let's say I'm doing my job and something goes wrong. And I get blamed for it. I'm not going to be happy about that either. No. So just think about other people. I'm afraid I am going to have to hastily move us on. You got anything you want to say before we...
Literally, all I was going to say, mate, was, speaking of your job, didn't you go on a course recently?
I did. Flipping heck. We have to move this on because we've only got like half an hour left. And
have we? We're so far behind.
We're barely through the first bit.
I'm so sorry.
I went on a lighting course with a lovely man called Ian, who was great. I went with my company, and we had a really nice time learning about lighting. And I've just shot our first video with my new knowledge, and I've got some lighting kit anyway. I've had it for a while now. I've got some new stuff coming as well. Ooh. So hopefully the video is going to look really nice. The fire unboxing, which is also on the running order, so I'll quickly roll it into one, is coming out, and that's got new lighting, nice purple lighting.
It does look very
LED
pretty.
up lighting. It's gonna be really cool. So I'm really happy with the result. The raw footage looks really nice from my camera.
Well, do you know what? Because that's the thing. Obviously, we've also said recently that there hopefully will be more regular content on the channel. Yeah. Which, if you go to YouTube, it's just type in Curious Crow Productions, and there we are.
Well, you're already with us because this one isn't on SoundCloud.
Exactly.
Unless it is on SoundCloud, there's a possibility I might put this on SoundCloud.
We'll see.
We'll chat see about if I can. Because I kind of want to give them money. Anyway, I want them to do all right. So yeah, I'll just quickly roll that into one. But yeah, so the fire unboxing's coming. My lighting course, I've learned all about 3-point lighting. I've learned all about all that sort of cool stuff. I'm really excited about making stuff look really pretty and making it look as nice as possible for you guys.
100%.
I hope you enjoy the work coming. Also, there's going to be a series of Martin's Cupboard, so hopefully that's going to be lit beautifully as well. We don't know yet.
Moving on to something slightly sadder now, though, aren't we?
No segue here. It's not really appropriate.
No, it's really not. Unfortunately, for those of you that are film fans. Living Dead director George A. Romeo dies at age 77. The American-born filmmaker George A. Romeo, who created the Living Dead movie franchise, has died at the age of 77, his manager has said. Romeo died in his sleep on Sunday with his wife and daughter at his side after a brief but aggressive battle with lung cancer.
Yeah.
Obviously, our thoughts and our hearts go out to his family and as well to all the fans, because unfortunately I can't actually say I've watched any of the Living Dead series.
Yeah,
I really wish I had, though, because from what I understand, it's a phenomenal series. He made people look at films a different way.
And Romero's work is
I've been saying his name wrong. I butchered that, haven't I?
don't worry about it. I'm sure he's had worse missayings, I guess. Romero's work, when I was studying for film, obviously his name cropped up a lot. Have seen a couple of his movies. And again, dropping like flies. This world is losing someone who's very important.
Yeah.
And
100% agree.
Artistically, we're losing something special. So, yeah, I mean, it's sad.
It is very sad.
It is what it is.
It is.
Can I just, so we have it sort of staggered.
Yeah.
We were in Tesco earlier.
Indeed we were.
Tesco Extra.
Yes.
There's big Tesco. There's vinyl. I noticed there was vinyl in Sainsbury's a few months ago as well. Vinyl's making a comeback.
Yes.
I don't really have anything to say about this. I'm just happy.
Well, do you know what? The fact that vinyl's coming back, I'm really happy, because personally I always think that vinyl sounds better than digital music. There's just more, I don't know, it just feels like there's more soul to it. There's more soul to owning a hard copy of some music. Yeah,
there's a technical reason for it as well. And also, it's nice because, let's put it this way, I'm never going to go out and buy an album now.
No.
I have a Spotify subscription, okay? Apparently they're not making money either.
Oh.
I have a Spotify subscription. I'm never going to go out and buy a record, like on CD.
No.
But if it's on vinyl, with a beautiful slipcase, and it's a classic album like Michael Jackson's Bad, or the Beatles' Abbey Road, or Queen Greatest Hits, I will buy that shit. Sign me up. The problem is I don't, where I live, have a turntable. I do have a pair of decks, but where I live, I don't have a turntable. No. So it'd be really sad to buy. I know where I'd put it. It'd go right there.
See, do you know what I've always
liked? First, obviously.
I've always quite liked the idea of a vinyl case. Being able to have one of them and flick through it. I'll flick through it and see which album I fancied playing.
I've got one of those. I have the first press of Alex Gaudino, Destination Calabria.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. First press. Very
Check
posh.
you out.
Chris, I'm not massively into Doctor Who.
No.
You are, though.
Well, do you know what? It sounds bad, but I used to be.
Yeah.
Up until recently, I hadn't watched any of Capaldi's stuff. I missed quite a lot of Matt Smith stuff.
Yeah.
And for those of you who, well, obviously, they played the Doctor in Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, sorry?
Doctor Who.
Not
and,
Rock. Not Rock.
Who's there?
Doctor
Who. It's so
oldest
bad.
joke in the book.
But yeah, obviously, yesterday was the reveal of the 13th Doctor, and obviously a lot of people have been getting excited for this because a lot of people have had their preferences and they've said, I'd really like it to be this actor, I'd really like it to be this actor. And for me personally, it was a complete shock, because I will hold my hands up and go, do you know what, I don't know what I've seen her in. I'm sure I've seen her in something.
She was in Broadchurch.
Was she in Broadchurch? Oh,
yes.
Okay, well that would make sense, because obviously the director who's taken over from Stephen Moffat is the director of Broadchurch.
Yeah.
But yeah, on a slightly not sour point, but I've seen a lot of people on social media and they've been, really having a go and going, it's disgraceful having a female doctor, blah 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 blah. Well, it's because no, it's a fictional character. It changes with the times.
Yeah, the rules as well. The rules on Doctor Who. There's nothing anywhere that says Doctor Who has to be in the form of a man. In fact, there's nothing to say that Doctor Who has to be in the form of a bloody human.
Precisely. Well, this is the thing. This is the thing, isn't it? Because in several episodes, throughout from First Doctor to Last Doctor, the law of the universe that has been created for that one program has been, a Time Lord doesn't have a specific gender. They're not a specific thing.
Hmm.
They can be whatever they want to be. Well, that's whatever they regenerate into. And, you know, people going, oh, it's disgraceful having a female doctor. No, it's not, because it's been discussed before in episodes. It's part of the law. If you don't know that, tough. Get re-educate yourself, because everyone deserves a chance to do what they to play a character like that.
I would understand if it was something like James Bond. Okay, then I'd kind of get it, right?
Yeah.
But as has been revealed this week, actually, Eon Productions are making a new series where there's going to be a female protagonist. So that's great.
That's really cool.
But, you know, change to James Bond, there's a previous existing thing there and what you expect from it. Whereas Doctor Who doesn't have those same rules.
No, it
so
really doesn't.
So stop being so bloody salty.
Yeah. Basically.
Can I tell you about something I watched on TV?
Yeah, please do.
So this has been out for a while. It's a series called Murder and Successful. I think I've spoken to you about it before. Very funny.
Yes.
And I watched the final episode last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think it's the final episode forever, judging by most.
Okay.
So the idea is you have a guy called Tom Davis who plays D.I. Sleet, and every week a celebrity takes part in a murder mystery, which is mostly improvised and hilarious. And I am so disappointed. I love the BBC, so I'm very disappointed that there's not going to be more. I'm so disappointed there's not going to be more. But yeah, check it out. It's on iPlayer. And when I say it's on iPlayer, I mean the whole lot is on iPlayer right now. Go check it out. It's awesome.
Fair enough.
Awesome. Now, the rest of this section is red. Chris.
Indeed, it's all my stuff. On the topic of television, though, I suppose I should start off with what I've watched recently. And I'll start with the newest one. It's called The Lock.
Okay.
As in Loche. The Lock.
That's how I spell it wrong,
It's fine. It was an ITV thriller. And I only caught a couple of episodes because I've been busy doing this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But my mum and dad have been watching it religiously, and I think it's been something like 6 weeks. It's just been a short series.
Right. Yeah.
But some of the twists and turns from what I've gathered from it, it is insane. It's if you're into your thrillers and things that make you think and things that make you go, oh, I wonder who it is, and you like the trying to work it out or the not knowing who it is, this is the program for you.
Oh.
It is a really, really interesting program because some of it you just go, oh, my mind has been blown. It's melting out my ear. And then, do you know what? I'll move on to the next one actually as well because The Lock is fantastic. But going back to old school, Bottom.
Hello, bird.
Rick Mail and Ade Edmondson's, for me, masterpiece. It's. I'm not going to say it. Nice try, Martin. That is.
Trying to trip him up with the C-bomb.
To be fair, I personally think that Bottom is the kind of their crowning achievement. I love that program.
So good.
What's really bad is the fact that over the last 2 weeks, because it wasn't as long as I'd like it to be on Netflix. I don't know whether it's
Netflix.
It's on Netflix. But I've watched it all 3 seasons through twice in the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
Because there's just something so funny, because it's really crude humour. If you're not into that, if you're not into cringy stuff,
it's
and you're not into
slapstick, but also very clever.
Oh yeah, very much.
You have to remember, it's quite a clever comedy.
It's very, very, very clever. And it's so good. And if you're a fan of kind of old British comedy, that's probably the way you want to go, because it's not. Do you know what? It's not outdated. It's grown really well, and it's aged really well.
Yeah.
Which is lovely, because obviously you can't really say that about loads of programs for me personally anyway, because I'm very selective with what I watch. But yeah, if anyone as a younger audience or anything like that fancies a bit of a giggle, that's probably the program for you. So good.
I love Bottom. I love the live stuff, which isn't on Netflix, tragically.
Yeah, I know.
I wish it was. I wish it was so bad. But you know, as humans, we're weird like that.
Indeed we are.
Speaking of humans.
Yes.
Rag and Bowman's album.
Yes, Rag and Bowman's album.
I wonder where you thought. Where's that going?
I literally had a moment where I went, oh my god, what am I talking about next? Even though I've got it right in front of me. Yeah, Rag and Bowman's album. If you haven't heard it, you've been living under a rock or something, or on Mars, don't know. But it's quite funny, because this time last year I was staying around here, wasn't I, Martin?
On the sofa cushions.
On the sofa cushions, as was the standard. And
after a night of Overwatch.
Oh yes, it was a good night. And some really rank whiskey.
Still got it.
Yeah, you do, because
Special
it's so bad.
reserve.
Because it's so bad. But I was just lying and scrolling through my phone as you do, and his song came up on Facebook, and I thought, I'll give this a listen. It looks interesting.
Yeah.
And it was "Human" by Rag and Bone Man.
Which has now become this
It's phenomenon, hasn't it? And I went, this guy's voice and his style of music is fantastic. I wonder what more he's got. So I looked him up on YouTube. I went, Martin, give this a listen. So I played it to you, and then I was like, oh yeah, I really like this song. You know, I managed to download it and everything, and I was like, this is cracking. A year later, and I'm fairly certain that almost everyone knows who he is.
Yeah.
Because his music's just so different.
It blew up.
Well,
I do a chart show on Radio Woking.
Yeah.
On Sundays, 6 p.m. DAB and online.
Using the plugs.
Plug. And I remember doing it and seeing Rag and Bone Man and just being like, I know him.
Yeah.
I know him. That's mental. You were so ahead of the curve. You're so hipster.
I am the original. I am the OG hipster. But
you are not my definition of hipster. I'm sorry, dude.
Thank God for that. But to be fair, at the same time, obviously, he's now got so big that he even featured on the new Gorillaz album as well, which coincidentally is called Humans. Was discussed on the other podcast, and I was like, oh okay, because I had no idea until it came up on my iTunes, and I went, that's cool. And I thought, two of my favourite current artists at the moment, duetting, or well, not so much duetting, but taking part in each other's stuff is really cool.
That's very cool.
It's really
I like
cool.
both of them, so
oh definitely.
I'll have to give it a listen.
And then on to my final thing for this segment anyway. Things that one of the other games that I've been playing a lot recently, and I don't know what possessed me to do it.
Possessed.
Dark Souls, and anyone who is a gamer who listens to this and what have you will probably turn around and go, oh, it's well old, mate, why are you not playing the third one, or why are you not playing Bloodborne, which is the PS3 exclusive, not PS3, PS4 exclusive game, made by the same company. I've only just started getting into it. I've got to play the whole series before I've got to get a new console before I can play the rest of it.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm trying to get through it, and until you play it, you have no idea just how rage-inducing it really is, and how much. There was one point where the Dark Souls franchise is known for being soul-crushing.
Yes, it's known for its difficulty.
Indeed, it is, and the amount of times where I've gone, no, okay, I need to leave the room for a second, and I would I'd go outside, and I'd stand there, and I'd go, why can't I do it? Why am I so bad at games? And get really angry at myself, and then I'd come back to it, and I'd be fine. I'd do it, and it's so rage-inducing that half the time you're blindsided by how angry you are at the game.
Just so angry, you're just like, oh!
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But if anything, I'd say if anyone turned around and went, I'm looking for a really hard fantasy genre to get into, Dark Souls would probably be one. I wouldn't recommend it if you're angered easily like me. Me playing it was definitely
Angry
a mistake.
Man.
Yeah.
Speaking of mistakes, this is in the Metro. Like they normally are at the end of the
good old
program.
Metro.
Surgeon.
Metro. Sorry, I think we almost need like a jingle here. We'll record it on your piano. Now. Metro article of the week.
Thank you, Chris.
That's right.
Surgeons have found 27 contact lenses stuck in a woman's eye whilst preparing for her cataract surgery. The lenses, which resembled a bluish mass in the 67-year-old patient's eye, were causing the woman discomfort that she simply attributed to dry eye and old age. This happened in November last year, but it's only just been reported in the British Medical Journal. Rupal Mojana, I probably butchered that, a specialist trainee ophthalmologist who dealt with the case at Solihull Hospital near Birmingham, told Optometry Today, "None of us have ever seen this before. It was such a large mass. All the 17 contact lenses were stuck together. We were really surprised the patient didn't notice because it would cause quite a lot of irritation whilst it was sitting there." They've got images of it. It's really, really Grim.
If you want to have a look at them yourself, obviously the link will be included in the video.
Yeah.
So you do it of your own free will. We're not going to tell you to do it.
Initially, eye specialists discovered 17 lenses before further examination revealed that there were another 10 stuck in her
Gordon
eye.
Bennett.
Ouch!
Yeah, definitely.
Ouch! 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 Why would you not notice?
Yeah, it does kind of make you go, would you not notice this huge mass underneath your eyelid?
Yeah, disgusting, grim. Well, I hope the patient's better after that, and has probably been educated on how contact lenses actually work.
Well, she's probably her eyesight's probably a lot better now, because I can imagine it being like adding layers and layers and layers of glass.
Yeah,
it gets
cloudy.
Gets more and more cloudy as you go.
Just like adding lenses and lenses and lenses and lenses. Just awful.
Exactly.
In another story, again on the Metro.
Second Metro article of the week.
Using smiley face, poo, and broken heart emoji at school may sound like a strange idea, but it could improve children's language skills, according to an expert. Vivian Evans, a professor of linguistics at Bangor University, thinks that teachers should be using more animated icons in class. He admitted... if I was a woman. He admitted that people may find the suggestion absurd, but said that it was because they didn't understand how powerful emoji was. He told the Times Education Supplement, people poo-poo it and turn their nose up and think it's puerile and childish, but they don't understand how communication works. So we talked about emoji before, and
indeed
how we're down with the kids.
And words like chirpsing.
Chirpsing, yes, we talked about chirpsing extensively on episode 2, which you can find here on YouTube. But yes, he said in his new book, The Emoji Code, he didn't believe the animated icons made youngsters more stupid. Professor Evans suggested that if emoji were part of lessons, they would stimulate something we don't at the moment.
What a load of crap. I'm sorry. No, I think that's a load of crap. Personally, I've always struggled with languages anyway.
Right.
So maybe it's not my place to say. But in the same breath, if I was sat there, if I was back at school and I was being told, right, you're going to learn this form of talking through emojis, I'd be sat there and go, why? I barely understand them now.
Maybe that make you understand them better though, if you learn an emoji.
Do you know what? I don't think it would. I think I'd be sat there, bored off my breasticles, and thinking to myself, why am I here? I'm not a very academic person. This has been established multiple times.
Right.
All the way through school, college, and university. However, I'm stimulated by stuff that I can, do practically.
Right.
I'm a very practical learner, personally. If I was being made to sit there and go, right, this is the poop emoji, it's not a chocolate ice cream like everyone thinks it is, I'd be sat there and going, and in what universe is this going to help me?
Right.
Because I don't know. Personally, for me, I think it would be more beneficial to look at the stuff that kids actually are going to need.
It has occurred to me that this podcast is quite emoji heavy. We've talked about emoji a fair amount on here.
Yeah, we have, haven't we?
It's also
next week we won't.
Unicode Consortium and stuff like that. There are people who are having meetings going, so this poop emoji, does it go in or does it not go in?
Yeah, well, they've started adding new ones, haven't they?
To discuss that. They're adding new ones all the time because people thought it was like an Apple thing. It's not an Apple thing.
No.
It's a characters thing. It's a language thing, and it was done for the Japanese. Initially, it was done because Japan had already got it developed.
Interesting.
And then the world discovered them, and it went viral and went huge.
Well, do you know what? Actually, speaking of emojis, the one that I found interesting is the fact that obviously when this podcast was recording, the Game of Thrones was released the night before. Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage. Thank you. Yeah, I was just going through Twitter, as you do,
the twits,
and I saw a couple of the cast members who had tweeted about the launch, the release of the latest season, and they had a specific Game of Thrones emoji, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in my mind, I'll receive some backlash from this at some point, I'm sure.
Right.
But in my mind, emojis serve absolutely no purpose. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I just think they're irritating a lot of the time. Like smiley face and stuff, fine, I get that. But it's like, why in the world would I send anyone a poop followed by a unicorn, followed by a pair of shoes, followed by the girl who holds her hand up like she's shrugging, going, it doesn't make any sense.
So going like what now? It's the head tilt that makes it worthwhile. I don't know.
There'll be a video clip of that.
You're just going to send someone an eggplant, aren't you?
No, because I'm not a juvenile delinquent.
You know what it means, don't you?
Yes, I do know what it means. So no, I'm not going to send that to anyone.
Watch out tomorrow. So we've got some steak to eat.
Yes, we do.
Which will be prepared fresh, straight in the frying pan with that one.
We also have some halloumi to go with it.
Halloumi. Oh yes.
Well, actually, that's the point. Just before
oil in the deep fat fry. Go
definitely.
on.
Just before we finish.
That's not how we're doing the halloumi, by the way. We're not that unhealthy.
Food wise.
Okay.
Just one little thing. There's a place in London, I'll probably talk about this next week, that this summer, if you go up to London, they're doing halloumi fries.
There's a place in Camberley that does them.
Are you kidding? Oh, we've got to go to that at some point.
I went to it with Turkey the other week. That's when you bailed because you went around because you were too busy hanging out with other people, so you missed out on the halloumi fries. I'd already eaten, and then the sod turns around and goes, "Do you want to grab some food?" Then I'm like, "Dude, you never got back to me." So I had fish and chips, but I did have some.
I'm sorry about that.
All your fault.
To be fair though, right.
Yeah, go on.
I'd love to say I'm emotional. I am emotional.
Totes emotion.
Because you keep abusing me.
Love it.
No, I'd like to say I am a social butterfly, but I'm not that colourful. So I'll go with social moth.
Hanging around the light bulbs.
It's a bit like when people turn around and go,
well-lit areas.
Well, you know when people turn around and go, "Oh, I'm an early bird," or "Oh, I'm a night owl." Do you know what I turn around and tell them?
I'm a
No, not the C-bomb. I turn around I say that.
I had to stop myself then.
No, I just turn around and I am a perpetually exhausted pigeon.
You're a quail.
I'm also a quail.
And I'm a crow.
Do you know what? We'll probably talk about that next week, actually. That's something I'll add onto the list.
Tarquin the quail.
Indeed.
Right, that's it from us this week. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week, as ever, with more stuff. Hopefully, we'll be back on SoundCloud.
Definitely. Fingers crossed it's still
in fact,
going to go.
If this episode is... If you're listening now on the Apple Podcast app, we've dropped £8 on it. If you're not listening via the Apple Podcast app... and there's a recorded message up instead. That's it from us. We'll see you next time on the Curious Crow podcast. Goodbye.
Take it easy.
But here's the thing. We're not actually done.
No.
Because upon review, I've noticed that Chris has not thought of an episode title.
I haven't yet,
Christopher Borden, please think of an episode title. You have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Emojis will never be as big as Rag and Bone Man. There we go. There we go.
Emojis will never be as big as Rag and Bone Man. That's it from us, properly this time.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Ta-ta.